He has been indicted, arrested, and arraigned, but tonight the Supreme Court in the state of Colorado with legal action against Donald Trump like none other, that he is constitutionally disqualified from holding office again. Trump likely to ask the U.S. Supreme Court to hear this matter, but there's no guarantee it will. So what's the fallout for and against him? Here's Josh Einiger.
It's an unprecedented legal ruling in an unprecedented time. A court in Colorado finding former President Donald Trump engaged in insurrection, and so, under the Constitution, he's disqualified from running for president again. Colorado's Secretary of State ordered to pull him from the ballot.
It is up to the court systems. And right now, the highest case that we have says that Donald Trump is disqualified because he disqualified himself when he tried to steal the presidency from the American people.
The case was brought by 6 Republican and unaffiliated Colorado voters who allege the former president should be barred from running again. A judge disagreed at first, but they appealed to the state's highest court and won. Trump's Republican competitor Vivek Ramaswamy came to his aid tonight.
It's a basic concept. The people who we elect to run the government should be the ones who run the government. The people who ultimately lead the government should be the ones who we, the people, elect.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you.
The irony is the court used the January 6th report issued by the House of Representatives, which found the former president's refusal to accept 2020 election results led him and his followers down a rabbit hole of insurrection. And he has been charged, but not yet convicted, with a conspiracy to block the peaceful transfer of power. This ruling attacks the very heart of this nation's democracy, one of Trump's many attorneys said in a statement tonight. It will not stand, and we trust the Supreme Court will reverse this unconstitutional order. Even none other than Chris Christie, an avowed Trump critic, rose to his defense tonight.
He will have had to incite insurrection, be a part of an insurrection, for him to be excluded. There's been no trial of him on that. And while I have very strong feelings about that, as you know, I also have very strong feelings of the fact that people in this country deserve to have a trial before rights are taken away from them.
This ruling will impact only Colorado ballots right now, but it's almost inevitable it'll wind up at the U.S. Supreme Court. And if it does, that would decide the matter in all 50 states.